February 10th, 2017, Zoodiac was released into TCG. In this episode, we're going to dive into the evolution of Zoodiac from when it first came out and how it's changed. Without further ado, this is the History of Zoodiac. First initial release of Zoodiac debuted in Raging Tempest, February 10th of 2017, and was arguably the most broken archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh history. Zoodiac monsters were something different to the game at the time, having a somewhat new mechanic to XZ summoning. In most cases, you XYZ summoning by overlaying two monsters, but with Zoodiac monsters, you can simply just XZ summon with one card. As a result, this brought forth some of the most broken combos ever in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! By abusing Zoodiac Broadbull to obtain a massive amount of advantage. When the deck was first released, there were many different variations of Zoo that were performing at the top tables. So many different variations, it might just hurt your head thinking about how many different decks could splash Zoo. People were also opting to play Kaiju Zoo since Kaiju was a very easy out to Dryden. Along with the Kaiju Zoos, they were incorporating artifacts to make their first turn just a blowout. Some were incorporating it with metal foes. Infernoid Zoo was also a thing. People were even mixing Zoo with Burning Abyss and Shaddolls. With so many different ways to play the deck, eventually the truth was revealed on which variant was most optimal. Pure. Although there were really good variants doing well, Pure was having the most results as the format progressed. With Zoodiac being released in February, the deck was so dominant that a little over a month from release, the March ban list towards the end of the month going into April, Zoodiac Rat Pure went to 2 and Elder Entity Norden went to 1. But even this didn't make that big of an impact as Zoo had a broken combo with Fusion Substitute that could recycle Norden multiple times since this card was not once per turn. To give a brief overview of the best Zoodiac monsters, I'll start with one of the most prominent, Zoodiac Trident. Trident has a really good effect to detach and destroy a face-up card on the field, providing you with an interruption. Then we have Zoodiac Broadbull, the one that has never left the ban list as of 2021. This card was so broken, you could detach and add almost any Beast Warrior from your deck to hand. But wait, it gets better. Next, we have Zoodiac Rapier, which just pushed this deck over the edge. Rapier allows you to send one Zoodiac card from deck to grave on summon, enabling Zoodiac Combo to be live next turn, or enable Shaka9 plays, who was a later release, but that wasn't the most broken part of this. An XYZ monster with Rat as material, once per turn, can detach a material to summon another Rapier from deck. Yes, you know where this is going. Combined with Broadbull, Elder Entity Norden, Lunalight Black Sheep, Fusion Substitute, the inboards this deck could produce were so insane, not to mention plussing so many cards. Not only was this deck's combo just really good, having 3 copies of Tenki made it even more insane. Moving into the middle of the format around April, May, Pure Zoodiac was the most represented, and for good reason. With the release of Ash Blossom and True Draco in May of 2017, Zoodiac finally had competition. With the 2 best decks of the format being Zoodiac and True Draco, people were even opting to combine the 2 decks together. Some would say the best deck was True Draco, as it inherently had a good matchup against Zoo. Some would also say True Draco's Zoodiac was the best, but even then, Pure Zoodiac actually reigned supreme. Surely after the June 12th ban list, when Elder Entity Norden received a ban and Speedroid Terrortop went to 1, True Draco Zoo appeared to be the most viable option, although Pure Zoodiac was still a really strong contender and better than pretty much every other deck in the format. July 21st came Master Rule 4 when Link monsters were introduced into the TCG, and you could no longer just summon from the extra deck anywhere you wanted. They created a new zone called the Extra Monster Zone, and if you summoned from the extra deck, it would have to go into the Extra Monster Zone or to an arrow that a Link monster pointed to. This didn't affect Zoodiac much as it was still very resilient, having 3 Trident and 3 Broadbull. Unfortunately, by the time the World Championship tournament happened in August, this, Konami merged the TCG and OCG banlist together, which really cut Zoo down to size as it was really hindered in the OCG, and it was really missing a lot of its key elements, and Dinos ended up winning it all. And that was the beginning of the fall of Zoodiac, and on the September ban list in the TCG, Konami decided to ban Dryden and Broadbull. This alone hindered the deck so much that it left for many formats to come. But then, in April of 2020, years of being dormant, Zoodiac Dryden went back to 1. Unfortunately, at the time of that format, it was being dominated by Adamancipator and Synchro Eldritch. Not to mention, there were no in-person events because COVID just happened. Later in 2020, around November, XC Decks received a brand new boss monster, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, and he came into the game to wreak havoc. Zoodiac Eldritch entered the meta around this time and started seeing many top cuts for months to come, but was outshadowed by the newly released archetype, Virtual World. Although Zoolidge, as they called it, had a really good matchup against the new best deck, Virtual World was just able to drop 2 True King of all calamities in 1 turn if they chose, and was so overbearing for most decks. In December of 2020 came the release of Drytron, a new archetype that entered the meta along with Virtual World and just completely overshadowed Zoolidge. In the middle of March of 2021, Zoodiac saw light again. After Calamities got banned and Benton went to 1, the 2 best decks fell right out of the meta, and then Dragon Link started to reign supreme. But not only was Dragon Link in the spotlight, Tri-Brigade walked into the light with their new support, and they were also mixing with the Zoodiac package. Tri-Brigade performed a number of really cool plays, abusing Rapier, Shaka 9, Dryden, and Tiger Mortar to do Link summoning into Tri-Brigade Blossom, and then proceed with Tri-Brigade plays. The deck mixed and harmonized so well together, it slowly started becoming the better option. Not only was Tri-Brigade a viable option, but with Zeus being at the forefront of the format, people were opting to run pure Zoodiac with 3 Zeus, a bunch of hand traps, and floodgates like Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure. Pure Zoodiac was played by many of the top tier players of this time, all the way up until June, when Konami decided Dryden was too good of a card and banned it once again. Zoodiac fell out of the format again, but one day it may return. But until then, this is the history of Zoodiac.